What happened to Miss Angel Reese? She's all in Indiana during All-Star, and her Reebok campaign come to your track.
We have commentators laughing at this.
Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese is the first one, still with it blocked.
They realized that they were laughing and then quickly stopped and I was like, oh, I can't laugh. I'm live right now. I can't laugh. I'm live right now. Let me get real serious.
The basketball world is witnessing what could be one of the most baffling endorsement decisions in recent memory. Under the leadership of Shaquille O'Neal, Reebok chose Angel Reese as the face of its basketball revival. And so far, the results have been nothing short of a corporate cautionary tale. While Caitlin Clark continues to shatter records and Sophie Cunningham effortlessly wins over fans, Angel Reese is going viral for all the wrong reasons. With her signature Reebok shoe set for a 2026 release, industry insiders are already whispering that this could rival the infamous new Coke fiasco as one of the biggest brand missteps in history. Let's be real. This isn't just a questionable gamble. It's shaping up to be a full-blown endorsement crisis. If you think this was a bad bet, drop a fire the baby giraffe in the comments. Let's go.
Washington Mystics just put belt to ass on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. Sonya Citron was out there cooking with hot grease. Stir the pot. Stir the pot. Keep cooking, Sonya. That was a show. She put on a flat-out show versus Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. Boy, did they ruin Angel Reese's homecoming.
Whenever Angel Reese takes the court, statisticians across the league seem to brace for impact, and not the kind that gets fans out of their seats. It's the kind that makes data analysts bury their heads in spreadsheets with a sigh. In just her second season, Reese has managed the almost unthinkable, shooting a dismal 31.5% on layups. Yes, layups, while attempting the third most in the entire WNBA. It's almost a twisted kind of impressive, the way she's turned the most fundamental shot in basketball into a consistent liability. We're talking about a 6'3" professional athlete missing point-blank looks at a rate that would have a high school freshman riding the bench. At this stage, it feels less like basketball and more like an ongoing experiment in performance art, where every missed bunny is another act, in a play no one asked to see.
The Chicago Bravado once again got their ass kicked. Angel Reese was so bad last night, the announcers calling the game, they were laughing at her performance. Check out some highlights for yourself. Well, KC, you always do this. You select a couple of bad plays and try to convince us that Angel Reese isn't a superstar.
The comedy practically writes itself. In a matchup against the New York Liberty, Angel Reese produced a sequence destined for blooper reel history. 4 straight missed putbacks in just 12 seconds, with 2 of them getting swatted as if she were testing her shot against a brick wall. The moment went viral almost instantly, but not in the triumphant highlight reel way athletes dream of. Instead, it became meme fodder, complete with clown music edits and YouTube compilations titled, "When Basketball Isn't Your Calling." It was the kind of viral moment that cements a player's reputation for all the wrong reasons. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark continues to draw comparisons to generational NBA talent, selling out arenas and breaking records, all without needing to miss 4 layups in a row to get people talking. The contrast couldn't be starker, and the internet didn't hesitate to point it out.
This was an epic embarrassment, bro. Remember, this is a pro basketball player. Won a national championship. Their calling card, they'd like to hang over, and she beat Caitlin Clark. Remember that. Watch this. Are you serious, guys?
And sure, someone will argue that her field goal percentage sits at 44.4%, which seems respectable.
Sure, some might point out that Angel Reese's overall field goal percentage sits at 44.4%, which on paper sounds respectable. until you realize that the majority of her attempts come from within 3 feet of the basket. In the paint, where efficiency should reign supreme, she's producing numbers that make scouts clean their glasses in disbelief. Most professional players convert layups at a 70-80% clip. It's supposed to be the easiest shot in the game. But Ree has somehow turned layups into a Vegas slot machine. Pull the lever and pray for a payout. What should be automatic points has become a nightly gamble, and the odds aren't in her favor. At this point, neither fans, coaches, nor Reebok. Executives seem willing to place big bets on her delivering when it matters.
54! Let's get it! Burn! Lack of awareness combined with a lack of ability to jump. Not great! Burn!
Reebok, 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 Reebok.
Yeah! Again! Rebound!
Lack of awareness mixed with an inability to elevate is already a bad combination, but lately it's reached almost comedic levels. Meow, 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 yeah, again, bang. And then there are the commentators, those brave professionals trained to sell every moment as if it's epic and unforgettable. They can make a routine free throw sound like a buzzer beater, but even they can't keep a straight face anymore. In a recent game, after yet another point-blank miss, one announcer couldn't help but laugh. Not the gentle, "she'll get it next time" chuckle, but a genuine, "what did I just watch" burst of disbelief. When your play-by-play team starts laughing instead of narrating, that's not just a warning sign. It's a full-blown PR disaster. Picture a 50-foot inflatable, tube man waving frantically outside corporate headquarters with a giant sign that says, "We messed up."
With her dominant performances in June, she earned her All-Star selection. But these aren't just a couple of bad plays. These aren't bloopers. These aren't rare moments. This is the norm. The same thing happened last week when the Chicago Bravado got their ass kicked by the Minnesota Lakers. I don't have to convince you that Angel Reese has no impact on winning. Just look at her record. Look at her resume in the WNBA.
Social media, of course, is having a field day. Fans are churning out entire video compilations of her most baffling misses, complete with slow-motion replays, dramatic zoom-ins, and circus music for added effect. It's practically become its own subgenre of sports entertainment. For Reebok, hoping to reignite its basketball brand, this is exactly the kind of publicity they don't want. Instead of buzzer beaters and breakout performances, their marquee athlete is going viral for all the wrong reasons. This isn't the kind of content that sells sneakers. It's the kind that sends marketing executives polishing their resumes.
Inside in Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese with the first one, still with it, blocked.
We go through All-Star break, we come back, 9 turnovers. We sit out with a back injury, we come back, can't make a fundamentally sound layup. Maybe they rush you back from injury. Tyler Marsh, did you rush her back from injury, Tyler Marsh? I'm looking.
If Ree were tearing it up on a winning team, maybe, just maybe, people would be willing to overlook the chaos. But her Chicago Sky are a disaster, sitting on a dismal 7-21 record. The on-court product is so uninspiring it makes practice squads look competitive. They've dropped 8 straight, and when Ree missed 5 games with a back injury, they still went winless without her. It's a strange paradox. They're bad with her, yet somehow even worse without her. It's like being stuck in a leaky lifeboat. You know it's going down, but at least it's keeping you from sinking immediately.
I'm no expert in math, but it looks like Angel Reese wins 1 out of every 3 games. If I remember correctly, Angel Reese has beaten a team with a winning record once this season. So you tell me how Angel Reese impacts.
Coach Tyler Marsh has done his best to spin the narrative, but even his most upbeat sound bites can't disguise the reality of a sinking ship. When your offense is built around a player whose most viral highlights involve missing wide-open shots, under the rim, the problems run far deeper than a thin bench. Reebok didn't just sign Angel Reese, they made her the centerpiece of their entire basketball relaunch. Shaq himself endorsed the move, with plans to drop her signature shoe in 2026 and ride a wave of Gen Z hype. But there's a glaring flaw in that strategy. It hinges on actual on-court success. This isn't Instagram, it's the WNBA. And in eyeball shit, the real world of sports, missed layups and being the punchline for commentators don't move sneakers. To make matters worse, Reebok CEO Todd Kinski openly compared Angel Reese to legends like Allen Iverson and Shaquille O'Neal, claiming she had the potential to be a culture-changing force. It would be laughable if it weren't so sad. Shaq and Iverson didn't just influence culture, they transformed the game itself, earning their status through relentless dominance on the court. Reese, on the other hand, is producing stat lines more suited for a blooper reel than a Hall of Fame display. If she's changing culture, it's only by redefining what not to do in professional sports. The whispers of doubt are now swelling into open murmurs of regret. Did Reebok actually evaluate her game before slapping their logo on her? Or were they simply so desperate for relevance that they grabbed the loudest name without checking if the talent matched the hype? At this point, it's looking less like a bold investment and more like a desperate Hail Mary from a brand chasing headlines over substance, resulting in a multi-year, multi-million-dollar catastrophe. The timing of Angel Reese's back injury couldn't have been more convenient for just about everyone, except Reebok. Let's be real. While injuries are never something to celebrate, in this case, Reese's absence felt less like a tragedy, and more like an unplanned vacation from the weekly basketball circus. This wasn't just a break for her body, it was a much-needed breather for fans, commentators, and meme creators who had been drowning in viral compilations of her missed layups. Then, almost like a magician finally pulling off her first decent trick, poof, she vanished from the court. The pause gave Reebok a rare moment to reflect. How do we market sneakers for a player whose signature move is bricking wide-open layups? Her injury also kept her out of a much-hyped matchup against the Indiana Fever, a game fans were anticipating more out of curiosity than competition. It was supposed to be Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, a rivalry that existed mainly in Reese's Twitter feed. One player is rewriting league history and breaking records, the other is still struggling with layup drills. In the end, her absence spared the public from what could have been one of the most lopsided beatdowns since Goliath got a second shot. Blindfolded.